So Amar, we went and got Amar, and he said, let's have a rally. It's time for it. He said, no, it's time for a rally. And then he showed us the science. He said, New York is the last Sunday, I think. This is when they had Englishtown, North Jersey was like the third Sunday, and subsequently we chose the first Sunday. See, and I tell people all the time about policy. This is our nation. There are certain policies that we can set, that we must set to each other. You know, and still today, there's certain policies. It just ain't, a lot of people come to this nation think that everything is already done. We got a lot of work to do. A lot of policy setting on things that, the way we see things for the future. We just can't assume that the next generation is going to get this right.
No.
We cannot assume that. So we must have certain, we got the supreme mathematics. That's our first guideline. Supreme mathematics in the alphabet. That's the first guideline. Now we got the history, we got brothers that's still around, who've been around with the Father. And then we got documents that we have created, plus lessons that we have created that will help these brothers and sisters 20 and 30, 40 years from now. And I tell people all the time, we must create plus lessons that's gonna help us here on the planet. When we first seen plus lessons, they was way out here. They would tell you how many times, how many steps it would take to go to Mount Everest. I mean, like, you know, like, you mean 1 million steps to go to Mount Everest? I mean, like, yeah. How is that going to affect my right now? I don't plan to go to Mount Everest, so
and I'm not going to walk.
So I don't need to know that. However, there are things that we must create so that we could, the right things that we must create and put them in our plus lesson. So when you go through the 120, say, all right, well, this is how we was eating then. This is how we was living. These are the things that we should never touch again. Drugs, alcohol, all this kind of stuff like that. These are the things that we must do. This is how we got to do this. These things all must be documented. So, because we need to fortify the foundation.
Well, that's a part of why I chose to do what I did with this camera.
Well, and we did some of the same stuff. I remember when we didn't just tell people in the community not to eat pork. Jamel acquired a microscope. And then we got some of those culture trays, and we did experiments.
Good point.
You know,
yes.
We put pork in there, and we let people see what happened to it, and look at it in the microscope, see for yourself what it is.
The sun hit it, the worms came.
Right. You know, because we didn't want people to take anything on face value.
Good point, guys.
You know, let's see it for yourself,
and
then you're sure. You know.
Very good point, Kahim. No, the science was all there, God.
We did all kinds of things like that. I mean, you know, we when we talked to the community, we talked. We really talked. From shoes to food, housing, everything. Education. Why ain't you in school? Because I ain't got no shoes. All right, let's go. Let's get some shoes. You know? That's all it's going to take.
That's what it was about, God. Let's go.
Well,
I like the synth, Mega. Do it again.
To see the entire complete film that these segmented clips come from, join 7 on Demand. Add on with me as we take our media to the next level.